everyone, welcome back to our channel and a brand new video. This one's gonna be a super fun one. I'm Danielle, your resident romantic.
And I'm Lindsay, the fantasy fan, and we are friends
Till the book ends. If you saw our previous video, we took you a little bit shopping with us, kind of a preview of what you're gonna see here.
Yeah.
Because this is our book haul video where we're going to go over everything that we bought, which was quite a lot.
Many books.
Yes, many, many books. Before we dive into that, I did just want to do a small little shout out. Philly the Kid, I know it was your birthday on May 14th. He is one of our biggest fans, and so I just want to give him that birthday shout out. So happy belated birthday to you. I hope it was a good one. Now into the content. We are just going to go back and forth. It's probably not going to be super detailed because we have so many to get through. All right, Lizzie, kick us off.
Okay, so the first book that I picked up is The Lying Game by Ruth Ware. I read Turn of the Key by her and I absolutely loved it, but I haven't read another Ruth Ware book since. This one doesn't have a synopsis on the back, so that's not very helpful. But it says in a New York Times book review that 4 friends reunite in the English countryside and it has consequences. And it's when they're exposed to the glare of truth. So it sounds like some stuff from their past is going to come back to bite them in the ass.
Okay.
So I'm excited. I like Ruth Ware, so I'm pumped to read this book.
Alright, so one of the ones I got is If I Never Met You by Mary McFarlane? Ma'ari?
It's okay. It's pronounced really weird if on the back you look. Her name's pronounced Vari.
Oh!
I know. I did it. Yeah.
You learn something new every day. So this is by Vari McFarlane. This is I believe a fake dating trope because
Love a good fake dating trope.
Right, exactly. So apparently Lori, her husband, is like, I need a divorce, see ya. But they work at the same law firm, so already it's difficult enough to have to now work with your ex-husband. And then, shocker, the ex-husband's pregnant girlfriend, all of that gets spread around the office. And so Lori's like, I gotta do something right now. And she gets, it's not just a fake dating trope, it's also stuck in a broke down elevator trope.
I feel like you've said you've liked that specifically.
I love that. It's just such a perfect setup. And so she gets stuck in the elevator with Jamie, who is like the playboy of the office. So I'm just excited for a fake dating trope with that one. I also got Like Cats and Dogs by Kate McMurray. This is kind of actually a hate to love, so I think you might enjoy this. It's a guy and a girl. The girl is a fan of cats. The guy is a fan of dogs. They constantly are like at each other's throats like cats and dogs. But then the guy, Caleb, is trying to like smooth things over with her. And the perfect opportunity comes up when there are a bunch of stray kittens left on the girl's doorsteps. And so he's like, well, why don't we work together? We'll take care of these kittens. We'll make sure that they grow up and everything. And I'll make sure you don't hate me anymore. That's the vibe I'm getting from this book.
Very cute.
Very, very. I just like the cover too. Look how simplistic that is and kind of like a Venn diagram. Is that what they are?
It is like a Venn diagram.
It's been so long since I had to use one.
I like it.
Thank you. I like it too. That's why I got it.
I'm happy for you.
I'm happy for me too.
So the next book that I got is These Old Shades by Georgette Heyer, and I knew this book existed. But I didn't know what it was about. I knew it was written in like the 1920s, and it's like a kind of a classic romance-esque. And it gives me very Austen vibes. First of all, this cover is cute.
Wait a minute, this was written in the 1920s?
Yes.
It looks so kind of modern.
I know. I think it's cute. I think it looks adorable.
It looks very cute.
But I'll just read you the little blurb on the back, because I read it to Danielle in the bookstore and basically had a heart attack because it sounds like Pride and Prejudice, sort of. So the Duke of Avon has waited 20 years to get revenge on his arch enemy. When the Duke rescues young Leonie from a life of harsh abuse, he finds in his new protege not only the key to a scandal that will shock the world and destroy his enemies, but also the one person who can transform his dark and embittered heart. If it says bitter,
it's
dark.
Mr. Darcy.
Yes, basically if the main character sounds like he's going to be a snob, I'm here for it. So I'm really excited. It looks adorable, and I can't wait to read it. This looks like something I'd really like to read during the summer.
You look adorable. But yes, that does look like a good summer vibe.
Summer vibes!
Okay. If you have seen some of our other recent videos, I recently talked about Hot and Badgered by Shelley Lawrenston.
Yeah.
I have now bought Badger to the Bone by Shelley Lawrenston.
These titles give me secondhand embarrassment. I don't know about you.
No, I don't even get
Cringy.
first-hand embarrassment, but
No.
anytime I get to embarrass Lindsay is a plus for me. So the first one was a shapeshifter book. This is also a shapeshifter book. It's part of like the series. The first one focused on a girl and one brother, and the brother is like triplets. So this is now the other brother and the girl that he kind of falls for. But what I found out in the first one is that it's really not targeted towards romance. Like you make, like based off of the cover, you really think it's gonna be romance, but it's not. It's like this weird, crazy thriller adventure, kind of fun with a little bit of romance and a whole lot of comedy, and I don't even need to read the back. Like, I saw it and I was like, Lindsay, I need to.
More.
There's always more.
She got hot and badgered.
And then I got badgered to the bone. So that's that. I also got Once Upon a Prince by Rachel Hauk? Yeah,
Sure.
Hauk. How could you say that wrong?
A little piece of me dies every time you do a pun.
But they're so funny.
Oh my god.
This is, romance, of course. A lot of these are going to be in the romance section. Duh. It's a girl who was, like, dating, like, her childhood or high school sweetheart for, like, 12 years, and then they broke up, and she's like, well, gosh, what am I gonna do now? And then Prince Nathaniel stumbles across her, and I blurbed this in, the clips from the bookstore, but I'm gonna say it again, because this one line, the last thing Prince Nathaniel expects to find on his American holiday to St. Simmons, I'm never gonna say that right, Island, is the queen of his heart. Like,
No.
that's all I need to read. I don't know what else is happening, but it's queen of
How
his heart.
come a prince never stumbles upon me? That's the real question.
Yeah, no, that is a very, very good question.
Maybe it's because we don't have princes here.
I was gonna say, how many princes are left in the world?
Probably not that many.
Gotta start working through them.
Hit me up. The next book that I picked up is actually a graphic novel, and that is Fence Volume 1 by C.S. Packet? Unsure. But I was wanting to pick up Monstrous Volume 1 because for our Bookopoly TBR, which you haven't seen it, you should go check it out because that was fun. I rolled the die and I landed on a graphic novel or manga to read this month. And I really wanted to read Monstrous, but when I went to my Barnes & Nobles, they had every volume but the first one. And you can't start without the first one, so I had to kind of change courses. But I saw Fence, and I know that Ash, from A Dash of Ash, has recently binged the entire series and really liked it, so it was on my radar. So I think we're following this guy named Nicholas, who's the illegitimate son of a retired fencing champion. And he gets accepted into this like prestigious private school thing on a fencing scholarship, and they're like his half brother's there and also the best fencer like around, so he's kind of like competing, and I believe this is gay. Which makes me excited. So I don't know anything about fencing, so hopefully I learned something, and I want like the enemies to lovers vibe in a boarding school with fencing. So I'm very excited.
The next one is Smoke by Ellen Hopkins. This was made in 2013, yet I thought it was such a new book when I picked it up. It is now 2021, by the way, if you're not aware of the year. So it has been a long time since this came out. This is actually the sequel to her book, Burned. I really liked Crank and Burned by her. I believe I also read Glass and Fallout. I really like, first of all, it's done, like, prose kind of thing. Like, it's not your standard kind of reading book.
Yeah.
And I actually really liked that she did that setup for her book. The other thing is, I did really love Burned, so knowing that there's a sequel, I had to get it. I also like that a lot of her books deal with, some like, really dark subject matter. Usually you're gonna need a trigger warning before reading it. And so I always think that she writes it in such a beautiful way where it's like, I'm not even describing it right, but you guys know what I mean.
But beautiful.
Right, yes. Like,
lyrical.
Lyrical.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is the SAT
That's my
word
go-to
today.
word.
Yes.
I'm like, it's lyrical.
It's so beautiful. And usually her books that I've read is that you have to go through all of the pain and suffering, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel in her books for me. So I like how she writes them. And then I also got The Real Deal by Lauren Blakely. This is a girl hires a gigolo?
Gigolo?
Oh, it's a gigolo? I thought it was gigolo. Well, I'm a giggling note about it. That was a stretch, I'm sorry. So she hires a gigolo to play her fake boyfriend. I know, another fake boyfriend dating trope.
Yes.
And of course, the one that she hires, Theo, this is supposed to be his very last dating job before he can finally quit. His debts are paid off. So she's, of course, the last person that he has to go on a setup with. So, of course, it's going to be perfectly placed that maybe it can continue after the prepaid date night.
So the next book that I picked up is a book that I've already read, but I needed it because I own the first book, and that is Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. Both Skyward, which is the first book, and Starsight were 5-star reads for me. Brandy Sandy can do no wrong in my eyeballs. But essentially we're following this girl named Spensa who wants to become a military pilot. This is set in space on like a... So, she's...
I didn't see that coming.
Yes. Can you tell by the moon on the cover?
I see now.
Yes. I see. But her father was a pilot that is very famous for deserting his fleet, and so she's kind of outcast from society, but she's determined to figure out like what really happened to her father, and the secrets, because there are some secrets that this government is hiding from their people. But this is so good. My favorite characters ever are in this book, with Mbot, who is the like sentient spacecraft, as well as Doomslug, who's a slug, and just a great cast of characters. The second book really makes it like very intergalactic, and I believe the third book is supposed to come out later this year. God willing, this year needs the next book of the series, because we're not off to a good start this year. So I need something to kind of bring it all together at the tail end. So Brandy Sandy, if you hear this, please publish the third book this year, because I need it to live. Thank you.
All right, so next up, my girl, Colleen Hoover. I saw this in the adult romance section, and
your jam.
It's funny because I was like pulling up to Barnes & Noble's, and I was like, all right, don't forget to look for JLA, Colleen Hoover, Cressley Cole, and yet I was shopping and I forgot about Colleen Hoover, and I saw this and I was like, Colleen Hoover.
She whispered it. I was there.
Yeah. Some people in the aisle over were a little confused.
Yes. She literally sat on the ground, like, in front of...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I do that.
In front of the books and was like...
Oh, yeah. I felt bad because I think I was blocking a woman's way. Anyway, so this is just like a bunch of her other books. It's a guy and a girl romance. They both have pasts that they're struggling from. This one is slightly different because it actually looks at financial unbalance.
Okay.
So the woman comes from a life of poverty and neglect. Meanwhile, the man comes from a family of wealth. And so it's kind of that, you know...
Yeah. That weird...
I can't find the words, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Hopefully.
Dynamic, yeah.
Right. So, like, there's always some kind of dynamic clash that she talks about in her books, and this one is going to be a financial struggle, and finding that balance between the two. So, I am always excited for it. Plus, God, can she stop making such beautiful covers? Like, I love this.
That is really pretty. I do like it.
I didn't even say the title. This is Heartbones? That sounds strange. It's Heartbones, I guess. But, yeah, that is that. I rambled on for that one for a while. And then I also got Bookish Boyfriends Get a Clue by Tiffany Schmidt. I don't know a whole lot about this. I do think it's a queer romance. I'm pretty sure, because it has to do with... Yeah, Huck and Winston. This is a queer romance.
Yes.
98% sure. It's a high school queer romance. That's all you need to know.
And it looks like there's books, so...
Oh, yes.
I mean,
also, it has to do with,
it.
like, it's kind of like a Sherlock Holmes, like, rewrite or, like, incorporation.
I love that.
Yes. Oh, it looks like there's more. I'm gonna get distracted.
So, the next book that I picked up, I was so excited to see at Barnes & Noble because it's indie published, and I've seen a lot of people, namely Becca from Becca and the Books, and for Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction, but that is Fortuna Sworn by KJ Sutton, and they're actually like friends with the author, and I'm just like jelly. But this is an independently published book, which I feel like we don't see a ton at like bookstores, at least Barnes and Nobles. We don't really have a ton of independent bookstores near us.
No, it sucks.
Yeah, so that's where we primarily do a lot of our shopping. But I know that this is about a girl named Fortuna who is the last of her kind. I believe she's called a nightmare. Oh. And her brother disappears 2 years ago, leaves her alone, and so she kind of blends in among the humans while she tries to search for her brother. And I know that she encounters a powerful fae who, like, tempts her back into the world of mythological beings, I guess? I don't know. But I've heard that this is very good. I've heard that it's muddy.
Oh, really? Like romance?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I've heard that it's smutty. So I'm excited to read it. Also, this cover is like beautiful.
I
And
wouldn't really get the smut vibe from the cover though.
yes, I think I've heard that it's smutty. I'm not sure if it gets sexy time in this book or like in future.
Right.
But I do remember hearing that it gets a little like spicy.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I don't know.
I'm excited for
Maybe
you.
I'll bring this to the beach. This seems like a good.
That would be a good like beach read one.
Yes.
Alright, so next are 2 books by Jen Bennett. This one is Serious Moonlight. This one is Chasing Lucky. I actually really don't know the synopses for either of these. I do know that they're going to be young adult romances because the other books that we have read by Jen Bennett are all YA romance, YA fiction, stuff like that. I have read Alex Approximately. Lindsay has read Alex Approximately and Starry Eyes. Yes, we both love Alex Approximately. Starry Eyes is on my list to read. Lindsay let me borrow it, but then I actually went out and bought my own, so that is going to be delivered. Jen Bennett has just been a rising author for me, for my bookshelf, so
Definitely.
I will absolutely get whatever books she writes. I don't imagine any of these being less than a 4 stars, so even if I don't know the synopses, that's okay.
Okay, so the next book that I have is A Taste for Love by Jennifer Yen, and this was on my books we're most excited for list that we did earlier in another video, so make sure to check that out.
Honestly, when you were checking out with that, that's such a book that, like, I would also pick up just for the title, so I was like, did I get this? And I thought it was you, and I was like, yes, I want to hear about this.
So, essentially, in this book, we're following a girl whose name is Liza, and her mother wants her to get a boyfriend. She doesn't really care that Liza is, like, academically inclined and is very smart. So her mother sets up, they own a baking shop called Yin and Yang. Are you remembering the synopsis?
This sounds like a faux love story.
It does sound like a faux love story. It's actually Pride and Prejudice retelling. I'm not doing a good job at this. It's a Pride and Prejudice retelling. And that's my favorite book. So essentially her mom sets up this like baking competition that she asks Liza to help her judge. And when Liza shows up, all of the bakers are eligible young Asian men.
Oh, this is sounding familiar now. I do remember you talking about it.
So her mom kind of tricks her, and I think she starts to fall for one of the contestants, the stoic, impenetrable, annoyingly hot James Wong. So I'm very excited for it. I have been waiting to buy it. Because I knew we were doing this. So here she is. She's cute. She's got boba on the cover, and it's
I really like the soft blue that's in the background.
It is. It's lovely. Anyway, I love it. I love it!
The next one I got is All About Us by Tom Ellen. First of all, it's a cute cover. It's got a Christmas tree. It's
so
got
you.
snow. You probably can't tell with the lighting, but it's got nice, like, reddish Christmas colors going on here. Which, first of all, put Christmas and snow on a cover with someone kissing.
Danielle has to buy it.
I have to buy it. I literally picked it up and put it in my basket without even reading the back. But then I went back and read the back. I believe it's some kind of, like, time travel romance where the main character, Ben, he was dating his girlfriend and it got rocky right around December, which he loves December. I also love December. Ben, let's date. Sorry, Jason. So they broke up and it's an awful time for him, but then his best friend, Alice, comes back in the picture. I guess she moved away. And he's like, what would have happened if Alice and I just started dating back in time, like before she moved away kind of thing. And he meets someone, a seller, who gives him like a mysterious like wristwatch that can travel back in time. So it's kind of that kind of thing. That's a really, put that on the back of the cover. I like it because all the blurbs on the back are like achingly romantic, which I need. Romantic ache. So I got Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. This is actually because of Lindsay. Lindsay talked about it. She
haven't read it yet.
You what? I thought you did.
No, I just own it. But we should read it together.
Okay.
It looks so cute. And it's perfect for summer. It's perfect for summer.
I'm so wrong. I really thought you read this.
No. No, I just own it. Like the psychopath that I am, where I just buy things and never read them.
I will definitely make you read this then. We're gonna do this as like a summer like book reading one. The short synopsis is that the 2 main characters, Pepper and Jack, both of their parents own, like, grilled cheese shops? And, so that's kind of like a Twitter war to, like, gain, viewership for their grilled cheese shops, and so they mostly only know each other over Twitter at first, right?
I think I don't think they know that...
They meet up in person, but they don't know
who
they're feuding with on... Right.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a hidden...
So
it does, yeah.
Hidden identity.
Alright, so then we're definitely gonna make that a book reading together one.
Coming to you this summer.
Yes.
The next book that I picked up, I was so excited to see because It's Heartstopper Volume 3, which I went to go buy this, I think about 3 or 4 months ago when I had finished the second one, and it was only available in the UK, because Alice Oseman is from the UK, and to ship it, it was like $20. So I was like, I'll just wait till it comes to the colonies. And so here it is. The colonies. So we're following Nick and Charlie in this really cute, adorable queer romance graphic novel thing. So Charlie is openly out and gay, but he's one of the only people in his school who is. And he develops a crush on his friend Nick, who he thinks is this like very straight rugby player type. But then Nick's like, maybe I'm not so straight. So it's kind of just them figuring out their feelings. I believe this one takes place in Paris on a school trip, which I said, ooh la la, very excited. Oui, oui, je parle un peu de français. I took French in high school.
I know what you said, that was good.
Thank you. I have used it once in a Wegmans to help a man find cheese. And that is it.
Do you want me to make a cheesy joke right now?
Petition to bar Danielle from this channel. Hi, it's friend till the book end. I have ended. Danielle's not allowed to do that anymore. But yes, very cute. Very excited for it.
I was also excited about Hot British Boyfriend by Christy Boyce. This was on my list of books that I was really looking forward to in 2021. As we mentioned in the clip, my boyfriend is British. He is hot. This could honestly be a trash book, but I'm gonna keep it anyway just because of the title. We are also abbreviating it to HBB, or Hot British Boyfriend. This is a very high school focused book. Ellie is a girl, and she just wants to date people. She doesn't have much dating experience, and they go on a trip to England, and her best guy friend, she hooks up with a British guy somewhere in there, or she kisses him. I really don't know.
Something happens with the British boy
who is hot. That's it.
Okay, so the next book that I picked up is The Mysterious Affair at Styles by Agatha Christie, and I picked this one up because I recently read The Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz, and it is in direct style to an Agatha Christie book. Like, it takes a lot of inspo from it, and it talks about it a lot in it, and it really made me nostalgic for like kind of a cozy mystery situation. I have read a couple Agatha Christie's, and I have liked what I have read so far, but I have not read a Hercule Poirot.
A what? That's French, I don't understand.
It's his last name, but it's very hard to say. Hercule Poirot. Mystery. That's the detective. His name is Hercule Poirot.
Je peux en parler français.
Someone gets murdered. And this is the first in the Hercule Poirot.
I'm just gonna have you keep saying
that. This is the first in that line of detective mysteries. I do own Death on the Nile, Murder at the Vicarage. I own basically a whole bunch in the series that I have not read, but this is the first one, so I decided I wanted to start at the beginning. And I'm very excited to get to it because a whodunit is just fantastic.
I got Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds. Lindsay and I were debating whether I actually read this or not because it sounds so familiar, but I don't think I have. Basically, it is about Jack and Kate. They meet at a party, they fall crazily in love, and they have a very happy life together. But Kate dies. And so it is not just a story about their love, it's also a story about Jack kind of going back through their relationship, starting with when they met, and... Oh, there's more. I guess I didn't finish reading the synopsis.
Oh, there's more. But wait, it's like an infomercial.
I know, but wait, there's more. If you click right now, I'm going to read the rest of this to know what's going on. So apparently he starts going back through the relationship, and he wants to see if there's a chance to prevent Kate's death. Oh, so this is also time travel. Even better. That's it.
Time travel.
I thought it was just going to be a very heart-wrenching, sad romance story, but it even gets better than that, so.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would never read.
And it sounds like something I would always read.
Yeah, Danielle's like, oh, she dies. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, because it was like a really thoughtful, like, heart-wrenching look at their relationship. And I told her, I was almost tearing up reading the synopses. But I never finished.
That would make me run away. It makes Danielle want to buy it, but...
Yeah.
That's fine. So the next book that I picked up is The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden, which is actually the finale of the trilogy that Danielle bought me. She bought me the first book, which is The Bear and the Nightingale, back in December when we did a gift exchange. And I have read the first and the second, and I've really liked both. Both of them were a solid 4 stars, and so I'm very excited for this one. The cover is just magnificent. So essentially, in this series, we're following a girl named Vasya, who is living in like the Russian wilderness, and she gets herself involved with this god of death and ice named Morosko, and it's kind of her figuring out if she's a witch. And also the townspeople kind of turning against her, and it talks a lot about, like, iconography, and, like, this is back when Russia is first becoming extremely, like, Russian Orthodox, like, Christianity, so God becomes very important to people, and so it's looking at religion, and also politics, and also how does traditional, like, Russian folklore and mythology fit into that new way of thinking, a new way of life, and kind of, do the old gods exist kind of thing? Hint, they do. So I'm really excited to finish out this trilogy. I will probably finish out in, like, the summertime. This is extreme winter vibes, but I'm going to be reading it, like, in 90-degree weather, so I am excited for it.
But let's all just give Lindsay a round of applause for buying a bunch of, like, sequel and, like, series books.
a bunch of sequels.
Now, this is only half an applause, because you bought them. You still have to read them. But you bought them, which is one step closer than you were yesterday.
Yes.
So we're proud of you.
Thank you for the.
I'd like to thank the comments section. Yes. The next one I got is If There's No Tomorrow by Jennifer L. Armentrout, aka JLA. This is a young adult fiction. I picked it up because I saw, first of all, the spine cover for Problem with Forever, which is written by JLA, which I have read, and then I saw the one next to it, which was this. I have not read the synopses. Honestly, I don't know what's going on here, but it's Jennifer L. Armentrout. And I literally picked it up, I was like, how's there a book exist that I don't have by her? So I really don't think it's going to be a problem that I don't know the synopses, because I've loved everything else by her. So that's that.
Okay, so the next book that I picked was the last one I picked up before we left the building. Because of course, as you leave, you're like, I'm done, but then you see a whole bunch of books that you start grabbing with your little grabby hands. But I picked up Jane Eyre, which is by Charlotte Bronte. I have read, I had started Wuthering Heights and DNF'd it by,
Emily Bronte?
Yes, thank you, the other Bronte. And I hated it. I hated that book with a passion. Like, also, I was listening to it via audiobook, so that could have been an issue because the narrators were terrible.
True.
But just the story itself, I was led to believe it was a love story, and it is not a love story.
It's not?
No.
Oh.
That is a story, that is a revenge story with a toxic relationship in it. But it was sold to me as like a love story. And so I felt like a little misled. But in Jane Eyre, I know that a lot of people, this is their favorite classic. So I was like, I have to give it a go. I think I like the cover. I couldn't tell.
I
asked Danielle, honestly. I was like, do we like the cover? Do we not? I don't know. But I know that we're following a girl named Jane Eyre who I think becomes...
I'm sorry, how could you tell?
Just a guess. Intuition. I think she becomes the nanny or something for this, like, a governess. She becomes a governess at this manor, Thornfield Manor, where she falls in love with Mr. Rochester. All I know is that there's a wife that he has not mentioned, and he might be keeping her in the attic.
What?
And
what?
Yes. So,
yes.
I'm excited for this. I think I'm excited for it. I can't tell. I'm going into this assuming that it is not a love story, but kind of is, because there's a man keeping his wife trapped in the attic. So, I don't know.
Next, I got a book by Kresley Cole. This one is Wicked Abyss. This is, Lindsay, what you said, like the 14th in a series.
Way up there. But that's okay.
This is her Immortals After Dark series. I have not read a single book in this series. I do plan to, though, because I fully enjoy Kresley Cole. It is hardback. I usually don't prefer hardback. However, as you can see at the sticker, it is cheap. It was $3. So even though it is the 14th in a series that I have not even started reading yet, it's $3.
It's $3. Also, $3. It's sexy.
Well, yes. I mean, I should have prefaced that. So Kresley Cole, this is more of her adult book series as opposed to her Arcana Chronicles series.
Which still has some...
Right, even that one is a little spicy.
Yeah, a little spicy for
Yeah. This one is like, you know, what is it, the After Dark showing kind of thing? Like, you know, you have the like
Yes.
PG ones and then the After Dark shows.
Yes.
That is
Which
that.
is funny because this is Immortals After Dark.
You know, I didn't even try for that pun that time.
Well, I did. So,
Oh.
you're welcome.
Thanks.
So the next book that I have is The Beautiful Girls by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and if you have watched our recent videos, you know that I have become a Sylvia Moreno Garcia stan. And this is actually her first book, but I believe that this was republished with this cover, which is stunning. More green in our life. We need more green. We've talked about this before, about how green is an underrated book cover scheme. So
orange.
yes. Let's see. When was this published? I think she has a couple. So this was published in 2017. So this was before she wrote Gods of Jade and Shadow and Mexican Gothic, which had become pretty popular in the past year. But we're following this girl named Nina, and she wants to join a kind of like socialite secret society thing.
Okay.
But the season has gone awry. Her debut did not go the way that it planned. But a entertainer named Hector arrives to town. She is dazzled. He's telekinetic, like Nina. So apparently there's telekinesis involved, so some powers. And they kind of work together to help their powers develop. And it says, but great romances are for fairy tales, and Hector is hiding a truth from Nina and himself that threatens to end their courtship before it truly begins.
Oh no.
So if it's anything like her other books, it's going to be just absolutely captivating, and I'm going to want to read it all in one sitting, so I can't wait to read it.
Next, I got the Last Chance books by Kelsey Radke, which right on the front it says book lovers can be haters too. So this sounds like a hate to love romance.
I'm so excited for this. For you.
I'm really excited because the blurb on the back, like just a quick snip. Oh, I hit myself.
Jesus.
I'm just so excited.
It's dangerous.
The quick quote from inside the book. The girl is like yanking the guy towards her and saying, "Get ready to call your sort epilogue because this is going to be its last chapter."
Ooh.
Which like that just pulled me in. Like that's hilarious, punny. Basically you have Madeline. And her parents own, like, a cute, like, small-town bookshop. She goes away for school or college or something like that. And she comes back and she's like, I'm ready to run the bookshop. This is my destiny. I love books. So do I, Madeline. So do I. And then opens up this store called Prologue, which I guess in this book world is a very nationwide bookstore. And I think that's owned by this guy named Jasper. And so it comes into a feuding bookstore war.
A feuding bookstore.
Right, like, I mean, who can say no to not one bookstore, but two bookstores in a romance book? This is a YA romance fiction, and I am absolutely thrilled for it.
So the next book that I picked up is Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne, and this is an author that I have a very complex relationship with. So The Hating Game is one of my all-time favorite books ever, and it's by Sally Thorne. And then 99% Mine is one of my all-time hated books, which is by Sally Thorne. And this is her third book. So this is really going to do it for me if The Hating Game was a fluke or if 99% Mine was the fluke. But I think we're following a girl who works at the front desk of a retirement home. And this just screams to me because I worked at a retirement home in high school. And I did. So I'm really excited to get those vibes because while retirement homes are like, they're just a place. Like, they're wild. It's like its own little town. It's lots of drama. Old people drama is the best drama. But I believe that her retirement home gets bought out by this new company, and the owner's son named Teddy is tall, tattooed, and with the most magical hair on earth. He wants to open up a tattoo shop, and Ruthie's like really into him at first, but then I think he mistakes her for a resident because she like wears like old sweaters and stuff. And so after that, she's like, he's on my death list. I hate him. And I think it kind of is like a hate to love thing. There's turtles on the cover. I'm sure it has something to do with the book, but
watch it end up being like a dead neutral 3, and then you'll have to get a fourth book by her to figure out where you're feeling.
I hope not. It seems to have gotten better reviews than her second book did, and it's blurbed by Emily Henry, who wrote Beach Read, which is also an all-time favorite. So I'm really excited for it. I love the color of this cover. It's like a periwinkle.
Yes, I do like the soft purple.
And God, I hope to God this is like Hating Game and not 99% Mine, because I'm going to scream.
The next one I got was When the Stars Lead to You by Ronnie Davis. I actually do not know the synopsis.
Ooh, I love that
for this.
cover.
Right. This was actually a cover buy. I bought it because I really did like the cover. I tried to read the synopsis 3 times while in the bookshop. Lindsay and I were talking during the first time I tried to read it. The second time I tried to read it, a lady came over who worked at Barnes & Noble's, saw me carrying this giant stack, and was like, do you want a basket? And I was like, yes, please. And then the third time I tried to read it, I saw in my peripheral another book. So I was like, alright,
Yes.
third time's not the charm, but I'm still gonna buy it. So I really don't know what it's about. It was from the young adult fiction section. Sounds like it is going to be some romance involved as well. Ow, I hit myself again.
Girl.
I can't. Look at that. The
Girl.
stack is getting so high, you can start to see it. And this is just my stack over here. Lindsay's got a hell of a lot more.
Do I?
I meant like in addition to this.
Yes.
But no, I have outbooked you today.
You have outbooked me. Okay, so the very last book of my book haul is Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert, and this is the conclusion to the Brown Sisters trilogy. The first book follows Chloe, and then the second book follows Danny, and so now we're getting Eve's perspective. I believe that Eve is like the hot mess sister, and she just can't seem to like get a job that she likes, so she's constantly flitting from job to job. And her family, I think, cuts her off because they're like, you need to just figure out what you want to do and do it. So until then, you don't get any money. So she finds herself at a bed and breakfast run by this guy named Jacob, and Jacob like despises Eve on sight because he is very orderly and very type A, and Eve is like a disaster. She's like a tornado of a person. And so something happens, and she accidentally hits him with her car, and supposedly by accident. And so he, I think, breaks his arm or something, and his B&B is understaffed, and so he hires Eve, like, against his whole judgment. And I think that they kind of hit it off. But it sounds really cute, and I'm excited for Eve's story. And she has purple hair, and that's really just all you could ask for in a main lead. So I'm really excited. I believe also Jacob is autistic, so I think that the rep in this book is really cool. So yay, Talia Hibbert.
Yay, Talia Hibbert. I do like her as an author, so I'm excited for you
Yes.
for that one. So before I get to the last two, I did also purchase about 15 books online as well, which they did not get delivered in time for this video, which I'm sad. But we are also running out of time, so I guess that works out.
We can also do another book haul soon.
Yes. So in addition to the 20 books that I purchased today, I purchased 15 online, bringing my grand total to a nice 35. I'm super stoked. Can't wait to fill up my bookshelves. So the other 2 books that I have here is 13 Little Blue Envelopes by Maureen Johnson. I read another book by Maureen Johnson, and I really loved it. This is very young adult fiction. It sounds a little bit more of like an adventure book. Apparently she starts getting... This young girl, Jenny, starts getting letters in blue envelopes from her Aunt Peg, and it turns out that Aunt Peg has actually passed away a few months ago, so how is she getting letters? And it kind of takes her on this trip across Europe.
Oh.
And there's like, obviously by the title, there's 13 little blue envelopes, so it kind of sounds like more of a explore yourself, explore the world, and go on from there. Then the last one I got was Just Friends by Tiffany Pitcock. This is a very cute setup in that it is high school. Jenny and Chance are put next to each other to be partners in their speech class, and it's a little vague on the back, but basically something happens and Jenny fixes it, but it turns Chance's life from normal to like superstardom, and it also says on the top that one little lie turns into so much more. So I think one of them fakes being a celebrity on a TV show. The back's a little vague, but it's it's a cute high school romance that I'm gonna sign up for.
Yes.
So there is that. We're done. Yay to us for actually getting through all of that.
You made it till the end.
Yes. Cool. That was a lot. There's nothing else to say right now. I've lost all of my words. If you have recently purchased any books, let us know down below, or if you have read any of the books or are excited about any of the books that we have talked about, just talk to us all the time down below. We're here. We love talking about books. Lindsay, anything else to add?
I don't think so. I think that kind of is it. But thank you for watching our video. We hoped that you enjoyed watching us spend all of our money. And we will catch you guys in our next one.
Yeah. Bye.